My name is Brad Johnson, and my full name is Bradley Aaron Johnson. I've lived in Sartell all my life. Some of my nationalities are French, German, and Polish, and American, of course. I was born in November 19th in 1973 in the St. Cloud Hospital. I was like 8 pounds, 2 ounces. My parents, they originally came from Minneapolis, St. Paul, and they lived in apartments when they were married, and they lived in St. Paul and stuff. And then they moved to Sartell, which has been their home for the last 10 years, I think. A little bit about my family. I have a brother. I have 2 brothers and a sister. One sister's in college, and 2 of them are younger than me. So I'm pretty much the middle child. I have my grandparents. I have one grandparent. My grandpa living with us now because my grandma died, and they used to live on the east side in St. Cloud. And they're Rhett and Ernest Johnson. That's what their names were. And that was on my dad's side. And on my mom's side, there are Richard and Pat Dakota. That's my other grandparents on my mom's side, and they were originally from the east side too, from St. Cloud. And that's where my parents were originally from, and they just lived like a block apart. My parents did when they were younger. I started sports when I was about 3, and I've been interested in sports pretty much all my life so far. And that's pretty much everything about my life. Is there any questions? Okay, thank you.
Hello, as most of you know, my name is Jamie Beckstrom. As most of you know, my name is Jamie Beckstrom. I am 14 years old. I'm 5'4", and I'm in the 8th grade. I like playing football, basketball, baseball, tennis, and softball. When I was born, I weighed 8 pounds, 8.5 ounces, and was 21 inches long. I was born at St. Cloud Hospital at 6:32 a.m. on August 1st, 1973. My first words were "Dada." I had brown eyes and blonde hair when I was born, and have brown eyes and brown hair now. My horoscope is Leo. I'm part Swedish, part German, part French, and part Norwegian. I have 2 brothers, 1 sister, 1 mom, and 1 dad. And I have a cat named Natasha Weechi Sebastian Jr. I hope you learn more about me in my speech. Thank you.
My name is Joshua James Van Horn. I was born June 28, 1974 at St. Luke's Medical Center in Sioux City, Iowa at 11:34 a.m. and I was 7 pounds, 1 ounce. My parents are Jim and Monica Van Horn. They were married August 22nd, 1971. My mom's maiden name was Anderson before she got married. My dad came from a family of 4, my mom from a family of 11. My last name, Van Horn, is Belgium, and my other heritages are Norwegian, Polish, and Swedish. Norwegian and Belgium are part of my dad's heritage, and Polish and Swedish are part of my mom's. I have 2 brothers, Michael and Nathan, and 1 sister, Sarah. When I was 2 years old and attending my aunt's wedding, I fell down, hit my head on a pew, and had to get 22 stitches above my left eye. I had moved 6 different times, and I went to 3 different schools in that period of time. And I learned how to ride a bike at age 6, and my grandpa died when I was 8, and that was a very tragic time for me and my mom, because I was close to him. And I'm one of 29 grandkids. I really enjoy playing soccer and football in my extra time, and I plan on joining basketball in the winter. And I plan on being part of the MISO when I'm older. Thank you.
My name is Michelle Rivers. I'm 15 years old. I was born on July 7, 1974 in the city at St. Mary's Hospital. I weighed 8 pounds, 21 ounces, and I was 20 inches long. I was born at 2:30 in the morning. I am partly German, French, and Sweden. I like to do gymnastics, swim, run, and bike. In my family, I have 2 sisters, my mom, my dad, and I am one of 15 grandchildren, and my grandma died when I was 8 years old. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Hello, my name is Stephen Kessler. My nationalities are Irish, Swedish, Polish, and Italian, and of course American. As far as I know, I don't know which of my ancestors were born in these areas. I lived in 4 states, but I've been in all of them 6. First, I lived in Minnesota and was born in St. Claus Hospital. I weighed 6 pounds 1 ounce. I lived in California when I was 6 months old, and I lived there for 3 years. Then I moved to Montana for about 6 months and back to California for another 4 years. When I was about 8, I moved to Georgia for 2 years, and then I moved back to Minnesota for another 3.5 years. Thank you for listening.
My name is Stacy Kopka, and I was born in Little Falls, Minnesota, the hospital about 4 o'clock p.m. on May 23rd, 1974. I have 1 sister, and my mom and dad are divorced, and my dad lives in St. Cloud with his girlfriend and her daughter, Stephanie. I also have a dog named Jojo. He's Pekingese, and he's got a bad temper. My sister she's 11 years old, and she's in 5th grade, and we don't get along too well. My nationalities from my dad's side is mostly Polish, and from my mom's side is Czechoslovakian. I play piano. I used to take dance classes, but I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm also in band when I play the clarinet. Thank you for listening about that.
My name is Heidi Loomis. I live in St. Stephen. I lived there for 14 years. I am 14 years old. My birthday is October 4th, 1973. My national heritage is German and Swedish. My first name is a German name. I like all sorts of animals. I like to go camping. I like to babysit. I was born in Minnesota. My dad was born in Texas. My mom was born in Minnesota. I want to be a veterinarian. I like to go swimming. I like to go camping. My favorite subject is science. I have 2 brothers. My brothers' names are Eric and Lance. And I'd like to thank you for listening to my speech.
My name is Joan Farms. My name is God's Gracious Gift. I was born in Dayton, Ohio on August 24th, 1974. I weighed 7 pounds, 7 ounces. After I lived in New York before I moved to Minnesota. I have 2 sisters, Rachel, who's 4 years older than me, and Rebecca, who's 2 years older than me. We have 2 pets, a dog and a cat. I'm 50% Norwegian, 37.5% Danish, 12.5% Swedish. I like playing volleyball, riding horses, riding a bike, and reading. I play the trombone in the school band. And an interesting fact about my family is that nobody was born in the same state. My mom was born in Minnesota, my dad was born in New York, my sister Rachel was born in West Virginia, and my other sister was born in North Dakota. Thanks for listening to my speech.
My name is Jean Marie Schlegel, but my legal name is Jeannie Barrier. Both of my
German, and my nationalities are German and Norwegian. My mom is Norwegian and my dad is German. I was born March 25th, 1974 in Spokane, Minnesota. Some interesting facts about my heritage are that my great-great-great uncle, he lived to be 103, and he was born in 1871 and lived till 1974. The man that brought our family over here was Ole Hansen, and he brought it from Norway over across the Atlantic, and they landed in Quebec, and then they came down to Wisconsin over to Minnesota. My great-great-grandpa and grandma Hansen are from Norway, and they came also on a boat from Norway, and their boat tipped over and they lost everything. Something that's kind of odd is that my great-great-grandpa was having a feud with his neighbor, and him and my great-great-grandma went out on the wagon to go somewhere, and the neighbor came out with a shotgun, and so they told my grandma to go home. When they were in the house, they heard a shot fired. When they went out, they found him laying on the road dead. I enjoy shopping, listening to music, going to movies, water skiing, but my favorite sports are skating and downhill skiing. I collect unicorns because I like them a lot. My favorite foods are tacos, but mainly Mexican food, and licorice. I think the best place to be is my room or the woods because they're peaceful. And when I grow up, I want to be a fighter pilot and lift weights in my spare time and live in Europe or Australia or Hilton Head Island. I'm sure you'll all feel better now that you know more about me.
My name is Todd Lee, and as you all know, my middle name is Emerson, Todd Emerson Lee. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital. I weighed 8 pounds, 1 ounce. I was 21 inches long. I've lived in Sartell all my life, and my mom has lived in the St. Cloud area all of her life. She graduated from Tech High School. My dad went to school in South Dakota and Marshall and Tracy, Minnesota. My heritage, I'm half Scandinavian, and I have some German in me and some Norwegian. My last name used to be 13 letters long. It used to be Spangled Lien, but they cut it down to Lien, so it's easier to say it. I enjoy diving, football, and riding my bike, and being with friends and swimming. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Hi, my name is Sherry Newman. Sherry's Latin and Newman's German. I'm 13 years old and I was born in St. Cloud Hospital on April 22nd, 1974. And when I came home from the hospital, my name was Cindy Marie, and then they changed it to Sherry with S-H-E-R-I, and now it's Sherry with a C. I weighed 8 pounds, 3 ounces. My parents' names are Arlen and Marie, and I have a brother named Tom who's older than me. I have 2 pets, a cat named Chrissy and a guinea pig named Ufta. My houses, I've lived in St. Cloud till I was 3, and then I moved to Sartell, and when I was 10, I moved to Blackdown. My heritage is, my mom's Norwegian, my dad's German, so I'm half and half. I've been to Disneyland, California, Washington, North Dakota, and Montana. Some of my hobbies are collecting pencils, erasers, stamps, stuffed animals, pennies, and books. Some of my interests are playing volleyball, boys, math, going shopping, talking on the phone, listening to the radio, playing band, and playing my computer. These are some of the unique things about me.
My name is Jason, as you all know, but you know me and I know you, and we get on pretty well. But moving right along to my ethnic background, which consists mostly of Irish and German, but somewhere which ties in there, I don't know how, but there's Polish and Scandinavian in me too. I was born at St. Cloud Hospital. I weighed 6 pounds, 8 ounces, and I was born on May 28, 1974. Therefore, presently, I am 13 years old. I lived in Minnesota first, and then I moved to Montana for I'm not sure how long. Then I moved to Nebraska, and then Kansas, and then back to Minnesota finally. Some of my hobbies are football, basketball, baseball, and I enjoy hunting and fishing also. I have one brother, one sister, 2 parents. And offhand, I could tell you that Twins won the World Series last night, which is pretty important because it's probably only going to happen once in a lifetime. So I hope you've learned something about myself, or about me, from my speech. Thanks.
My name is Cindy Umsender. I was born on June 26, 1974 in St. Cloud Hospital, and I've lived here all my life. My background is mostly German and some Irish. I have one brother, he's 15, he's in the 9th grade. My dad has 7 sisters and 6 brothers. My mom has 1 brother and 1 sister. My mom's maiden name is Hangel. I like to swim, and I'm on the swim team. I also like ice skating and reading horror stories. My favorite book is Misery by Stephen King. I take piano lessons. I love cats, but my dad's allergic to them. My family events that my family is doing are canoeing and camping. Thank you for listening to my speech.
My full name is Carrie Jean Allen. I have 5 people in my family. My mom, Lori, who is from St. Paul, and my dad, Doug, who's from Austin, Minnesota. I have 2 sisters, Jenny, who's 11 and in 6th grade, and Gina, who's 6 and in 1st grade. My dad is a businessman in St. Cloud, and my mom is a substitute here in Sartell. Half of my relatives come from Germany and half come from Norway, so that makes me 50% German and 50% Norwegian. I was born in Albany Hospital on April 16, 1974 at 2:25 p.m. I weighed 6 pounds and 9 ounces. Being 13, I love to go to dances, eating, shopping, movies. My favorite movie is Dirty Dancing, and my favorite food is pizza. I'm involved in swimming, and currently, this season, we are undefeated. This winter, I think I'm going to try basketball, but I'm not sure yet. When I get older, I would like to have a very successful job, although I'm not sure what field of work I'd like to go into yet. For the present, I just like enjoying my age and making the most of my life. Thank you.
My name is Josie Clevercamp, and I'm 15 years old. I was born at 9:59 a.m. on April 25th, 1974, at the St. Cloud Hospital. I weighed 10 pounds when I was born. I'm 3/4 German and 1/4 Polish. I like playing basketball and winning. I also enjoy my 2 dance classes on Mondays. We do mostly tap and jazz. Some of the steps are really difficult. Swimming is another pastime I enjoy. I live in St. Cloud with my mom, dad, and 9-year-old brother. I've lived there all my life. I like to keep busy and active as I get bored when there's nothing to do. I also love to read lots of books. I like things to be in order. My mom and dad say I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Hello there. My name is Keith Moran. My names are Irish, and my name, Keith, means the wind. I am the youngest of 5 children. My brothers' names are Rod, Colleen, Wayne, and Janet. My ancestors on my dad's side are French Canadians. My great-grandfather was a lumberjack in Minnesota and moved to the Little Falls area. My grandfather was a bootlegger, which means he made moonshine during Prohibition. And one time his still started on fire and about burnt the house down, but he could not call the fire department because he would be arrested. My grandfather is related to Charles Lindbergh Sr. Charles Lindbergh, who flew across the Atlantic, his father. My father is the 4th in a family of 10, and he is a teacher at a reformatory. My great-grandfather on my mother's side came from Germany to become a farmer. My grandfather was a farmer, and my mother is an interior decorator and is the oldest of a family of 17. I am 14, and I plan on playing professional basketball and being a doctor of some sort or other. I enjoy playing basketball, and I like water skiing, and I enjoy watching the Twins win the World Series, which they did last night. Thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Bev Supon, and I live in St. Stephen, and I love where I live because it's out in the country, and there's not a whole bunch of houses, and I like animals, have a whole bunch of cats. Got a parakeet and got a dog. I got a cow. I got a pig. And I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. And my hobbies are collecting stickers and junk. I'm half German. I'm a 4th Polish, and I'm a 4th Slovenian. And my background, there's nothing important. I didn't do anything that was special. And I was born in St. Cloud Hospital, and I'm one of 45 grandchildren on my mom's side, and I'm one of 25 on my dad's side. And I love to fly. I took my first plane ride last year. I went to Georgia to see my brother and his wife. And my brother's coming home for Thanksgiving this year. It'll be the first time in 8 years that we've all been together. So it should be pretty exciting. And thanks for listening to my speech.
Let me ask you one question. Is that a Kirby bear on your t-shirt?
Yeah.
Kirby Puckett, Kirby bear.
I'm Chuck Binsfeld. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital November 5th, 1973 at 7:27 p.m. My dad is also from St. Cloud. My mom lived in Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, Kansas, and now in St. Cloud. On my dad's side, my great-great-grandfather Schrader, my great-great-grandfather Binsfeld, and my great-great-grandfather Duck all came from Germany. Binsfeld is a small village in Austria. On my mom's side, my great-grandpa Taylor's ancestors were from England. My great-great-grandpa Zieger came from Holland, and my great-grandpa Kuzak moved to Poland, to Chicago, and eventually opened a bar in Omaha. My great-grandma Cutlars, when she was 11, moved from Poland to live with her brother. Some of my hobbies are football, baseball, golf, reading, writing, and someday I hope to be a writer, and something besides speeches. Thanks for listening to my speech.
My name is Troy Linder. I'm 14. My mom's name is Cindy Linder. My dad's name is Russ Linder. My heritage is Irish, English, Dutch, and German. I was born January 14th, 1973 in Phoenix, Arizona. We moved to Minnesota in 1980. My first year here, I lived in Stock Rapids. Then we moved to Rice. Then in 1983, we moved to St. Cloud. We lived there for about a half a year. Finally, we moved to Sartell. This is where I'm currently living. Some of my interests are riding a bike, maybe baseball, football. I like to play frisbee, or watch the Twins, racing go-karts at Summerland, volleyball, listen to music, and basketball, as long as it's not in school. Thanks, I conduct some speech.
Hello, my name is Work James Tucken, and I was born 10/10/73 in Chicago Lake. And I have 6 brothers. Their names are Brian, Kevin, Doug, Kirk, Sean, and Brennan, and me, of course. And on my dad's side, my great-grandpa came from Finland, which is right here, and on my mom's side, my great-grandparents came from Ireland, which is right here. I like to play football, baseball, and downhill ski. I like to ride 4-wheeler and dirt bike. And my Uncle Danny, he was a war hero in the First War. He escaped from 3 prison camps, and he's still alive today. He's living with us. Thank you for listening to my speech.
My name is Ricky Lyon. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital in 1974, January 3rd. I was 7 pounds, 7 ounces, and 20.5 inches long. I'm 75% German, 15% Irish, and 10% English. My dad's last name is Irish, and my mom's last name is German. My dad was born in his home place and comes from a family of 16. My mom was born in Little Falls Hospital, and she's a family of 3. And Thanks for listening to my speech.
Hello, my name is Amy Badnock. Badnock is a Scottish name. My main nationalities are German, Bohemian, Scotch, and Dutch. I have one grandmother, 4 uncles, 5 aunts, and 19 first cousins. The closest I've ever come to having a famous relative was my uncle's first wife was Kevin Bacon's sister. I have one sister, Jill, who is 9 years old and attends Sartell Middle School. I also have a half-sister, Kim, who is 22 and lives in El Segundo, California. I was born on June 8, 1974 in South Bay Hospital, which is in Redondo Beach, California. When I was born, I had blue eyes, dark brown hair, and I weighed 6 pounds, 15 ounces. I lived in Torrance, California until this past June, which is when I moved to Minnesota. The schools I have attended are St. Margaret Mary's Catholic School through the 4th grade, John Adams Elementary School in the 5th grade, and J.H. Hill Middle School in the 6th and 7th grade. I enjoy playing several sports. This is my first year of volleyball, which I'm enjoying a lot. In 6th grade, I played volleyball, which I intend to play again this year. In my spare time, I also like to play tennis and racquetball. For my future plans, I'd like to be either a doctor or a nurse practitioner. But hopefully this year, I'll just have a lot of fun thanks to the new friends I've made. Thank you.
My name is Julia Stock, and I was born on December 24th, 1973 at 10 a.m. at St. Cloud Hospital. I lived in Sauk Rapids for 6 months, and then I moved to Sartell. I have 2 sisters, Melissa and Bonnie, and 3 brothers, Lucas, Adam, and Jacob. My last name is from Holland, and it used to be spelled S-T-O-K. And I am German, French, Welsh, English, Polish, and Dutch. My great-grandpa Lawrence on my mom's side lived in the Arctic Circle during the Depression, and he also drove moonshine up north, and he went to Sartell. My great-great-grandpa on my dad's side is from Holland. Some sports I like to do are volleyball, basketball, softball. Other activities that I like to do are play trumpet, I go hunting and fishing and ride my bike. When I get older, I want to be a professional basketball player. Thank you for listening to my speech.
My name is Kathleen Annette Leggett. I was born December 20th, 1973. I live east of St. Stephen on a dairy farm, and I have 5 sisters, 1 brother, a dog named Cody, and a calf named Patches. My background, I am Slovenian German, or Slovenian and German, and my grandma on my dad's side came from Yugoslavia, and my grandma on my mom's side came from Germany. Slovenians eat the most unusual kinds of food, some of which you may think are pretty gross, but one is gola, which is you take boiled pig, some of the pig organs, and the cheeks off the pig, and the hoofs, not the hoofs, they're called hocks, okay, with special seasoning, and a cow heart, which you boil, slice up, and dunk in vinegar and sprinkle with salt. I have many traditions on my grandma's side of the family. During Christmas, we make the Slovenian sausage, and we used to have stockings with each one of the grandchildren had, but there got to be too many, and we all get together at Christmas, and my grandma every year makes a special kind of food, and I plan to go after school into veterinary school to be a small and large animal vet. I like to be independent. I want to live out in the woods when I get older. I like to cross-stitch, read, and cook. And these are some of the things that make me and my family unique. Thank you.
Very good. Right on the bell, Kathy.
You want to see my wand bearing your invitation? How was that? Pretty good. Thank you very much. I like to go out on these streets.
I gotta see that. Steve, do it again. Do it again, Jay. Jay, do it again.
One more time. Pretty good.
Looks like Gary Gaetti. It does. It looks more like Gaetti when you pull it down.
Oh, we gotta use a speaker. My name is Scott Radwell. I'm 14 years old and I was born in Newton, Iowa. I am new to the Sartell area. I come from a town called Saginaw. It is located about 20 miles west of Duluth on Highway 2. I attended Brookston Elementary for kindergarten through 5th grade, Elburn Elementary for 6th grade, Albrook High School for 7th grade. There were about 40 students in my class for 7th grade and about 250 kids in the class, my school. My mom was born and grew up in Sauk Center. My dad and sister were both born in Duluth. My hobbies are playing basketball and baseball and watching sports and collecting sports cards. I have over 10,000 cards altogether. I've lived in Highview Park since late August. Thank you.
You're on.
Hi, my name is Shirley K. Camp. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii on November 4th, 1973. Kira Lee isn't Hawaiian, but my middle name is, but I'm not going to mention what that is. I have two brothers, Wyatt, he's 15, and Derek, he's 10 months. I have one sister, Leah, she's 17, and another baby's coming in about 3 weeks. My mom's name is Roberta Plafkin, and my father's is Paul Plafkin. My real father's name is Dan Camp. My mom was born and raised in Hawaii, and most of my relatives still live in Hawaii, including my dad. Some of my nationalities are German, Portuguese, Hawaiian, Chinese, English, Irish, Scotch, American Indian, and Dutch. My father's side mostly immigrated here from Europe. My mother's side immigrated here from Polynesia, Asia, and Europe. I moved to Minnesota when I was about 16 months old with my mom, my brother Wyatt, and my sister Leah. My first house was in Mound, Minnesota, and my two aunts and my one uncle moved here before we did. I moved to St. Cloud when I was about 5, and I lived there until last year, and then I moved here. Some of the schools I went to was Westwood for first and part of kindergarten and part of first, and I went to Madison until 6th, and I'm going to Sartell now. Some of the things I enjoy are sports, dancing, music, eating, and sleeping. And last time I was in Hawaii was about 8 years ago, and I hope to be going back soon. Thanks.
I was born in St. Louis on January 20, 1973, and my hobbies are flying, ice fishing, hunting, and making model planes. I really don't care for the summer, 2 other seasons, just winter. My favorite sports are golf, pool, and hockey. My favorite movies are play movies, Christine, Splash, art shows, and some daily ones after school. My favorite weather is cold, with heavy snow, especially in the night. And I like to live where it's cold out and snow on the ground where there's just no little people living. Or be a flight pilot for the Eskimos, or just fly a jet or anything.
My name is Nicole Renee Goury. Nicole Renee is French and Goury is German. It means carpentry. I was born in Unity Hospital, Fridley, Minnesota on March 13, 1974. I weighed 10 pounds, 2 ounces, and I was 3 weeks late. Before I was born, all the doctors were sure I was going to be a boy. My parents' names are Joan and Goury. I have one brother, his name is Todd. He's 10 years old. I also have 2 cats, Woody and Missy. My religion is that I'm a Presbyterian. I go here in Riverside. My heritage is that I'm a quarter German, a quarter Russian, quarter Swedish, quarter Norwegian. I like to travel. Some of the states I've been in are North and South Dakota, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois, Iowa, Denver, Colorado, Montana, Nebraska, Wyoming, and in the province of Ontario, Canada, where we own a cabin. Some of my interests are playing basketball, volleyball, stamps, collecting stamps, reading books, traveling, swimming, ski, snowmobiling, and golf. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Kirk Rickelsell. I was born in St. Cloud, Minnesota on May 8, 1974. I live on a farm near St. Joseph. My mom and dad's name are Kevin Peter Cosell and Peggy Ann Cosell. I have one brother and one sister. My sister's name is Carrie, which is a junior this year. My brother's name is Carl, which is in 4th grade. I am part German, Irish, and part everything else. I enjoy football, basketball, baseball, and track. My favorite subjects are geography and bio. I'm said to have royal blood such as General MacArthur and Henry Lee still at one grade. My favorite teachers are Mr. Quinn and Mr. Angel. If there's not any questions, I will conclude this report.
Now when his face comes up, there it is. Beautiful Lonnie.
Hi, my name is Lonnie Kemikowski, and I was born in South Korea. And I'm not a full Korean. In fact, just the other day I found a strand of blonde in my hair. And I was born in 1973. I'm 14 years old. And my birthday is on August 10th. I should be in 9th grade, but I bombed kindergartens. My parents are in my real parents are in Korea, but I don't know where they're at, and I don't know what they look like. In fact, I don't remember. But I have one brother and one sister in America, but I have more brothers and sisters in Korea. And to make a long story short, okay, we ran away and a cop found us and he put us in an orphanage. And my American parents adopted us, and their name is Larry, Kelsey, and Marcia. And I came to America in 1973. I was 5 years old, and I went to Roosevelt School. People like Jim Hoffman and Mike Elhart went there with me. And I live in St. Joseph, and my neighbors are Kirk and Lois and Phil Hansen. And through my life, I had a lot of pets, and some of those are ducks and chickens and cats and dogs and fish, birds, horses, snakes and toads. Thank you.
Story of My Life by Dale Watkin. I was born on Grand Forks Air Force Base a long time ago. 14 years to be exact. My dad was a staff sergeant in command of a B-52. I was a military brat. I had always loved to fly, dreaming of flying constantly. I had lived on the base for about 2 years, and then we moved to Texas. I lived down there for about 5 years, and then finally decided to move up back to where it's cold again, Minnesota. Up here, it seems very different. Sometime every year, everybody dressed up in weird clothes and trampled around in some white stuff that flew down from the sky. I had learned it was snow. That year, we had a real Christmas tree, not like the fake one that we had in Texas. And then as the years moved on, I moved to Sartell. Thank you.
My name is Jolene Ann Sobiek. I was born August 22nd, 1974 at St. Cloud Hospital. I got my first name when my mom was in the hospital after I was born. My father and her hadn't decided on a name for me yet if I would be a girl. At that time, the radio was on and the song Jolene by Dolly Parton was playing. And that is how I got my name. My last name came from Sobieski, the name of my great-great-grandfather who came over from Poland. The reason he came to the U.S. was because it was so poor in the area he lived, and he had no religious freedom at all. There were also many Germans, and it was hard for a Polish man to live in that area. He came from Poland with 2 brothers and their families to find a better life. It was here in America that he and his brothers founded the town Sobieski. After a few years of success in this town, they went back to Poland to bring their friends and relatives here. They also passed the word around Poland about the U.S. and how great it was. I got the name Soviet because the Germans ruling at that time, when my great-great-grandfather was still in Poland, didn't like the Polish name Sobieski, so they changed to Sobiek, a less Polish name. They had no say in this and just accepted it like everyone else. My family heritage is very important to me and also very interesting. I hope you feel the same way about your family heritage as I do mine.
Right. My name is Lloyd Christy Mark. I was born on January 1st, 1974 in Brainerd, Minnesota. I was adopted and I weighed 8 pounds when I was, and believe it or not, I was chubby. My I first lived in Burnsville, Minnesota until I was 4 years old. Then we moved to Bloomington until 6th grade was over. Then we moved to Sartell. My favorite hobbies are dancing, singing, writing, and babysitting. Some favorite television shows I like to watch are Days of Our Lives, Knots Landing, The Cosby Show, and My Dad. I like to go shopping and go other places with my friends. I enjoy singing and playing in the band. My number one goals in life are to finish school and get a good education and a good job. Thanks.
My name is Ryan Russell West. I was born in St. Cloud on March 20th, 1974. I was a small baby, only weighing 5.2 pounds. I lived in St. Cloud for 4 years. My heritage is a half German, quarter Irish, and a little Polish and Scottish. My great-grandpa was a sergeant in World War II. He married my great-grandma, who was a nurse who patched him up in the war. They were married in Germany. When I was 2, I ate some poisonous berries. They were good, but I had to get my stomach pumped. And then my mom yelled at me and I broke my leg. Okay. And I got $100 savings bonds from my great-grandpa when I got my stomach pumped. And some of my interests are baseball, football, and eating. Some hobbies are collecting articles on the space shuttle and reading mystery books. I earn my money by allowance and I cut grass. I help farmers bale hay and pick rocks. My mom is from Albany, Minnesota, and my dad is from the great corn city of Minnesota, Golden Ford. Okay, that's good.
My name is Jason Leo Paulson. Before I begin, here's a couple cool facts about me. I'm mostly Norwegian, and I'm a little Irish, German, and Finnish. There's a little Irish, German, Finnish in me. And I'm a Pisces. Now I'll begin. I was born March 5th, 1974 in Brainerd, Minnesota at 10 a.m. at St. Joseph's Hospital. I lived there till I was 1 and then moved to Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I lived there till I was 3.5 years old. Then I moved back to Brainerd and lived there again till I was 5. And next I moved to a house near Rice, between King Supper Club and Pirates Cove, and went to Rice Elementary, grades kindergarten to 5th grade. Finally I moved to Sartell, where I live now, and started school in 6th grade. Yeah, here at middle school. And now I go to Sartell High School, and I'm in the 8th grade. And right now I'm done reading the stupid speech.
My name is Lisa Marie Langer. I'm 13 years old, and I was born here at St. Cloud on November 27, 1973. My last name is obviously German, and I get it from my dad, who's all German. My other nationality is French, and I get it from my mom's side, whose grandparents were French Canadians. My cousin Lynn and I share the same future plans, and they might change before we graduate, but here's what we have in mind so far. I hope to earn volleyball, basketball, track scholarships to get me through college, which will be at the U of M. Otherwise, I'll go in the Air Force, which will pay for my college. And if Lynn and I make it in the Air Force, afterwards we'll go to Australia, have a trip to Australia, and then we'll come back for school when it starts. We'll both be studying to become interior decorators, and after school we'll get our business going and be making the money, and I'll get my beautiful dream house and my sharp, sexy Porsche that I love. Eventually, our business will keep growing and getting larger, and Lisa Langer and Lynn Brennan will be known for interior decorating worldwide. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ryan Jordan. I'm 13 years old, but I'll be 14 in a month and a half. I've lived in Sartell for 10 years, but before that I lived in Marshall and Little Falls. I'm on the student council in the band's percussion section. I like collecting jets and putting together model airplanes. I also like playing sports, especially baseball, basketball, and soccer. How about those Twinkies? I love watching the Twins. My two favorite players are Dan Gladden and Gary Gaetti. In other spare time, I love to draw. I also have a computer which I use a lot. In the summer, I used to play on a soccer league, but last summer I played on a softball team. Thanks.
My name is Sean Marie Booth. I'm 14 years old and I was born at the St. Cloud Hospital on October 3rd, 1973, which is also my dad's birthday. There's 5 people in our family: my mom, my dad, me, and my 2 sisters, Sandy and Cheryl. I have a cousin who was in the Vietnam War, and he was shot in the leg, and he was in the hospital for 2 years, but he is still living now. My ancestors are Polish, French, English, Irish, and German. Our hobbies include going camping, swimming, sewing, cooking, bike riding, and playing the clarinet and band. My favorite sports are swimming, softball, and volleyball. When I get older, I would like to graduate from the Sartell High School, and I would like to become a computer programmer and live in an apartment in Minnesota. Thank you.
My name is Eric James Catterhagen. My last name is Catterhagen. It's part German. And in Greek, my name Eric means ancient warrior. And I was an early bird. I was born at 7:11 in the morning. And my great-great-great-grandparents were from Germany, and they settled during the Homestead Act farm up by Eagle Bend, and that farm is still, the farm has never been lived by anybody else, and it's still lived by some Catterhagens. I don't know, but. And my hobbies, I enjoy playing baseball, football, swimming, and basketball. And I enjoy collecting baseball cards and watching the Twins. My weakness is probably getting up in front of a group and talking real fast. And my birthday is May 18th, and I was born in 1974. Thanks for your attention.
Most of you know me. My name is Patrick Sukum, and I'm 13 years old. I was born December 20th, which makes me a Sagittarius, in 1973, which is the year of the buffalo according to the Chinese zodiac. I was born at 6:20 a.m. at St. Paul Ramsey Hospital and weighed 8 pounds 1 ounce. I was declared an American citizen at birth because I was born in Minnesota, even though both my parents were born in Bangkok, Thailand. They came over from Bangkok, Thailand to study in Philadelphia, and that's where they met and got married. They moved to St. Paul and had me and Pam, my sister. I lived in St. Paul for 11 years, where many things happened to me. My mom said my first words were dada, and that my favorite baby food flavor was carrots, and my least favorite was peas. For kindergarten, I attended Kinderhaus Montessori School. For 1st and 2nd grade, Ralph Reeder Elementary School. For 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, Valentine Hills Elementary School. In the summer between 5th and 6th grade, my family moved to St. Cloud, Minnesota because my dad had a job offer at St. Cloud Hospital. I attended Sartell Middle School then for 6th and 7th grade, and now attending Sartell High School for 8th grade. Some things I like to do are play video games, watch TV, and play baseball and tennis. And some fact that I think is interesting about myself is the name Sukum in Thai means intellectual, and my great-great-great-grandfather was the king of Thailand, but he had like 40 wives, so lots of people were great-great-grandfathers of him. Thank you.
My name is Leo Marie Nuttall, and I live at 42676 Carney Road 2, Mason, Minnesota. I was born on October 14th, 1973 at St. Clair Hospital, where I weighed 8 pounds 2 ounces and was 21 inches long. I have one sister named Amy. One different thing about me and my sister is that we have the same day that we were born, but we are 3 years apart. The first time I saw Santa, I was afraid and I started crying. When I was 4, I went to Gates Nursery School. In kindergarten, I won $5 for selling the most turkey raffle tickets. I was proud. I have 2 scars, one between the eyes, where I fell off the bed and hit my head. I had to get 3 stitches, and one on my foot when we were building our house. I stepped on some wire and had to get 5 stitches. My favorite foods are hamburgers, french fries, Mountain Dew, and pickles. My favorite things to do is swimming, babysitting, ice skating, reading, sleeping, watching TV, writing poetry and stories, listening to music, and talking on the telephone. Some nicknames of mine are Punky, Devil, Goldilocks, Dee, and David. I have a dog named Pooh. On Wednesday of last week, my grandma died. I only have one grandma left. Also, I'm in the St. Cloud Figure Skating Club. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lisa Wessenberg. Lisa is Hebrew and it means oath of God. I am 13 years old. Westenberg, it doesn't really mean anything, but some people that my dad worked with went to Germany and they said in Germany that there was a bakery and it's called the Westenberg Bakery. I was born at St. Cloud Hospital on March 15, 1974, 2 days after my mom's birthday. I almost died in a 6.5 pounds, and the reason I almost died is because I was having breathing problems. And I was put in an incubator. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, 2 nephews and 2 nieces, and 2 brother-in-laws. Me and my little brother are the only ones that are living at home right now. My favorite things to do are like play volleyball and I collect stamps. My great-great-grandfather came over from Germany on a ship and landed at Ellis Island, New York, and came to Minnesota. My great-great-grandmother came on a covered wagon from the Dakotas to Minnesota because she disliked the rocky area. She lived in a log cabin up north afterwards. That's where my great-great-grandparents met. So that makes me mostly German, and I'm also a little Irish, Scottish, and French. Thank you for listening.
My name is Patrick Wayne Sauter, and I am a Twins fan. I was born December 13th, 1973, a month early. When I was born, my mom said I was blue. I moved to Sartell when I was in 1st grade. And the name Patrick is Irish, but I'm not Irish. And the name Sauter is Swedish. I am Swedish, Norwegian, Dutch, Swiss, Polish, Indian, English, German, and Bulgarian. Sauter coat of arms came from Sweden. I don't know what any of it means, but it says Bohuslen on the bottom. And my grandma and grandpa had a cabin up at Sullivan Lake, and they sold it. But a couple of years before they sold it, I almost drowned there because their cousin was going out in a raft and it was tied to the dock on a rope. And I tripped over the rope and fell in. And all I remember was my dad jumping in after me and nothing after that. I have cousins in Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and Wisconsin. And most of my grandma's sisters and brothers are in North Carolina. That's where my grandma and grandpa are originally from. And my grandpa died of lung cancer in 1980. Thank you.
My name is Jason Roger Cook. Jason being part Swedish and Cook obviously means cook. And I was a fat baby when I was little because when I was born I weighed 12 pounds, 3 ounces. And my mom said I was fat for a long time until I was about 5 and then I started to get skinny. And I used to sit on my brother a lot and I did all kinds of things to him. I tried to bite his toe off once. My mom didn't like that. When I was 5 and my brother was 3, we caught my mom being Santa Claus because my friend told me it wasn't a real one. And I lived in a lot of different places. I've lived in a lot of places. Grand Rapids, North Home, and St. Cloud. This is my 2nd time in St. Cloud. First one was Sartell. Thank you.
My name is Shane Paulson. My nationality is mostly Norwegian. I was born on April 25th, 1973 in Crosby, Minnesota. I weighed 3 pounds. I weighed 3 pounds, so I had to be rushed to St. Paul, Minnesota into a hospital or I would have died if I didn't. I was there for 2 months and got out on July 1st, 1973. I was born on my great-grandmother's birthday. I lived in Brainerd for 2 years and then moved to Colorado Springs, where my dad was in the Army. From my house, you could see a missile silo nearby. I lived in Colorado Springs for 2 years, then moved back to Brainerd for the next 6 years. I moved to a little north in Rice for 6 years, and then I moved to Sartell, where I lived for the past 2.5 years. In 6th grade, I broke my finger playing football. I'm involved in many sports such as track, football, and my favorite is wrestling. I'm very good at wrestling, and I plan on being in this year. Thank you.
My name is Janice Marie Ann, and I was born in Melrose on September 5th. My mom's name is Betty, and my dad's is Wayne. I have 2 sisters. We lived in Hollingford for 13 years until about a year ago when my mom and dad got divorced. About 3 months ago, we moved to Sartell, and my dad moved to California. I like to swim, bike, roller skate, watch TV, and listen to the radio.
My name is Anne Swanson. I was born in Brooklyn, South Dakota, and I was born on October 20th, 1973. I was named after my father. I weighed 9 pounds. And I think feet first. I have 1 brother and 2 sisters, and my mom used to say I peed on them. I used to live on a farm until I moved here. I enjoy sports. I moved here because Dad had an accident on a horse. I'm planning to go to college, and I want to be a dentist in California.
My name is Jesse Gretzky. I'm 13 years old. I was born in St. Cloud at 8:30 in the morning on July 27, 1974. I have 1 obnoxious brother and 2 wicked sisters. My interests are being mean to my brothers and sisters, watching the Cardinals lose the World Series, and watching whitey-haired got out for the World Series. I like basically all sports, mostly the violent ones like hockey, when Cicerelli breaks the hockey sticks over somebody's face. And I like wrestling, like steel cage matches and things like that. One of my favorite casual sports is playing pool with my brother because we're pool sharks, and it's interesting to see who wins. From my mom's side of the family, my grandpa was from Prussia, probably some remote part of Russia or something. My grandma was from France. From my dad's side of the family, his grandfather and his family were from Poland, naturally. And my grandma and her family were from France and Ireland. I think I'm 75 to 80% Polish and 25 to 20%, or 20 to 25% French and Irish, somewhere in there. Thank you.
My name is Douglas John Asta. I was born on January 23rd, 1974 at Virginia Hospital in Virginia, Minnesota. I have 1 stepbrother, 2 stepsisters, 2 brothers, 1's dead, and one goes to Sartell Middle School. And my 2 stepsisters live in Richmond, Virginia, and my stepbrother lives in Virginia, Minnesota. I'm an Aquarius because I was born in January. My real dad's name is John Asta. My stepdad's name is Jack Hansen. My mom's name is Mary Jo Hansen. That's about it.
My name is, I was born in Little Falls, and, quit it, no laugh. My name is, Alvin Biniak, and I'm, the second in a set of twins.
Second in a set of twins.
Yeah. My brother came first. I had to give him a kick in the butt to get him started. And, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. A second, I didn't.
Now the muscle
Twins.
moves.
Twins all the way.
Okay, give us a little. Is the switch up, all the way up on the microphone?
All the way.
Yeah, okay. Now don't play with the microphone or we're going to get feedback. Okay, give us a little sound level. Tell us about the game last night.
The game was just great.
Wally, you don't have to put the thing in your mouth. No, just talk normal.
Well, you know, the game was real exciting. Like, we won. I think. Did we win? I don't know if we won or not. We won. I think. I think we won. And I have a great bod. Cut. Missy says cut.
My name is Molly Jane Kruger, and I was born on July 23rd, 1974, in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. Their names are Sarah, Katie, and Mark. My hobbies are shopping, reading, and swimming, and I'm mostly German and some Dutch. Much of my German background comes from my dad's side of the family, and his last name is Kruger, and that name is usually associated with being an innkeeper. My great-grandfather on my dad's side of the family came from East Germany in the late 1800s, and then he went to Illinois and then migrated up to southern Minnesota. My dad was raised in southern Minnesota until he moved to St. Cloud to go to college. My Dutch ancestry comes from my mom's side of the family, and my great-great-grandfather on my mom's side of the family came from Holland, and his last name was Voss. My mom's maiden name was also Voss, and on her coat of arms it has a picture of a fox on it. If there are no questions, this concludes my presentation.
My name is Tasha Nicole Swanson. Tasha is a Russian name for Telly. I have 4 sisters, Natalie, Kim, Carla, and Tammy. My mom came from a family of 12 kids and my dad from a family of 10 kids. The first 12 years of my life were spent in Thief River Falls, Minnesota. I then moved to Invergrove Heights and I lived there for 4 months. Then I moved to Burnsville and lived there for 3 months. My nationalities are Norwegian, German, and Swedish. My mom's parents are both Norwegian. My dad's mom is German and his dad is Swedish. My grandma's family came on a boat from Norway. As far as I know, I'm not related to any famous people, but some interesting things have happened in my family. For instance, I had an uncle that lived to be almost 103. I have a write-up. Also, when my grandma was little, her grandpa, my great-great-grandpa, and his neighbor were having a feud that was lasting for many years. One day, my grandma was riding home with her grandpa in the wagon when all of a sudden the neighbor jumped out onto the road with his shotgun. They sent my grandma home, and while she was in the house, the family heard a gunshot. And when they went out to see what had happened, they found my great-great-grandpa lying on the road. This is a picture of my great-great-grandpa, Frank Lee.
Turn the light switch on the side. Okay, now back the machine up towards you. Now the high knob on the side is the focus. The other way, there you go. Keep going. Oh, it doesn't turn out very good. Yeah, if you can move the machine back a little bit more.
He was a night watch guard, and he stepped directly in front of a car, and he was killed. And people say that he committed suicide. That was why he stepped in front of the car. This is Ole Johnson Lee. He was the one that brought my family on the boat from Norway to here. And this concludes my speech unless there are any questions.
I have a question of you. Who else are you related to in the 8th grade class?
Gene Schlegel.
Okay, because the story about the grandfather being shot, I heard that this morning and I thought, you got to be related to somebody. So you're related to Gene Schlegel? Are you cousins then?
Second cousins.
Okay.
My name is Carrie Marie Mirojla. I was born in 1974 at the St. Cloud Hospital. My zodiac sign is Aquarius, my birthstone is the amethyst, and my flower is the violet. As a young girl, I often imitated my 3 older sisters. I once saw them jump off the stairs, so I joined in. Unfortunately, I ended up unconscious for 27 and a half hours with a concussion, and I received a black eye. Whether my foolishness came from being Irish, Dutch, French, German, and Swedish, or from being 50% Polish, I wouldn't know. From my Polish side, my 4th great-grandfather had the city Stillersveld, Poland, named after him. From my other side, my relative Hugh Peters was beheaded on suspicion of participating in the execution of King Charles I of England. On the same side, William Jennings Brown, a relative of mine, ran 3 times for president but was unsuccessful. My first name, Carrie, means one who, through experience, learns the law of change. My last name, Mirojla, used to be Miroslanka until my ancestors moved to America. I am the youngest of 4 girls, all of whom I get along with. I enjoy reading, hunting, and 3-wheeling. After school, I participate in speech and rifle-line. I hope you can understand a little bit better about who I am and where I got my traits. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jason Furchie. I'm going to start with telling you something about my family and what we like to do. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital, March 9th, 1974. My dad's family is mostly French, a little bit Dutch, and his mother was deported from Yugoslavia. My mother is Irish and originally from North Dakota. We now live 7 miles north of Sartell. We have a family of 6 and 1 dog. Me and my dad enjoy hunting and fishing. Another hobby I like to do is ride 4-wheeler. My dad has a 200 TRX Honda and I have a 250X. Other sports I enjoy are skiing, water skiing, and that's about it. If there are no questions, I'll conclude my speech.
Hi, I'm Nate Birkeland, and my birthday is May 14th, 1974, and I'll start my speech today about my dad's side. His grandparents came over from Norway and started the Birkeland farm. They basically farm potatoes. Now, you all know about the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Hubert H. Humphrey is my great-grandfather's 3rd cousin. And this is an invitation that my grandparents sent to him for my mom and dad's wedding, and he didn't come. It says, "Dear Mr. Baker, Mrs. Humphrey and I we're pleased to receive an invitation to the marriage of your daughter Barbara Ann and Reverend Paul Oberg on Saturday, August 24th. Although we shall not be able to share this happy occasion with you, I do hope you will convey the young couple our hearty congratulations and the best wishes. May their lives together be blessed with good health and happiness." He's a nice guy. My grandfather came from a family of 11 children, and after he graduated from Concordia College, he was drafted into World War I. He was a sergeant underneath Captain Harry S. Truman. He was wounded in France and became good friends with Captain Truman. After World War I, he was asked by President Harry S. Truman to take his place to give the addressing speech at the 1951 Arlington Memorial National Cemetery. Pretty cool, eh? Now to get to my mother's side. Her grandparents on her dad's side were from England. On her mother's side, they came from Denmark. My grandfather grew up in Menominee, Wisconsin, in a family of 5. He was very poor and chewed tar for gum. He went to Stout University in Menominee and graduated and became a teacher. He taught for 3 years, then went to the seminary and became a pastor. He first preached at Columbia Falls, Montana, then West Hempstead, New York, Long Island. My grandpa and grandma met in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and my mom was born before all this happened. Well, that's the story of my heritage, and I'm done.
My real name is Melissa. Everyone calls me Missy though, and I don't really like that. I'm 50% German, 20% Austrian, and 25% Czechoslovakian. I'd like to travel when I'm older to Europe to learn about where my family came from and how they live. When I grow up, I want to be a buyer of an exclusive department store. Also, I want to make a mark in history, change the world in some way for the better, so that when people look back a century from now, they'll remember my name. I wish I was a more positive person. My mom's always saying to me to think positive, and if you don't have something good to say, don't say anything at all. I wish I was more like that. I think that everyone should create their own style, be original and unique. If you integrate some traditional rules, ignore the others, add your own twist, you can develop a style that is new and completely your own. This principle applies in many disciplines: writing, dancing, art, and sports. I don't like how people don't respect other people's beliefs just because someone else's beliefs are different from their own. I try to respect everyone's beliefs even if I don't agree in their beliefs. Life will go on with me or without me, and I want to be there while it happens. That concludes my speech.
Hi, my name is Sean Schulte, and I was born on March 1st, 1974 in St. Cloud Hospital. I have lived in the Sartell area ever since I was born. I am 75% German and 25% Polish. That little part of Polish, every time I'm playing a game, that seems to come back and haunt me. It's like major bad luck. My dad is 100% German, and his great-great-grandfather came to America by being a stowaway on a ship. My mom is half German and half Polish, and I don't know anything about her ancestors. When I was 4 years old, I had an operation to remove a lump under my tongue called a cyst. When I was 7, my parents were divorced, and I've lived with my mom and stepdad ever since they got divorced. My grandpa used to own a gas station across the bridge in Sartell. They tore it down when I was about 4 or 5 years old. You might have seen it. My dad used to work there when he was a teenager. After that, my dad was drafted into Vietnam, and my dad sells farm equipment for a living, and my mom sells jewelry, and I go to school and party on the weekends. Thank you for your attention.
Hi, my name is Michelle Pullis. I am 14 years old, and I was born on September 11, 1973 in the St. Cloud Hospital, and I have lived here ever since. There are 6 people in my family, which includes my mom, who was born in Virginia, Minnesota, or known as the Iron Range. Then there's my dad, who was born in Graceville, Minnesota, which is a small town right outside by South Dakota. I am the oldest out of 4 kids, which includes my sister, Christy, and my 2 brothers, Andrew and Mark. I also have a pure breed black dog whose name is Shiny. My hobbies are traveling, camping, sports like hiking, biking, swimming, volleyball, basketball, softball. I like to design things. I like to study space. And my ancestors are from Polish, Finland, and German. When my mom's side, her great-grandparents came from Poland during the war, and they were stowaways on a ship. When they came to America, they were married. That includes my speech.
My name is Jason Michael Weiss. I was born at the St. Cloud Hospital on December 22nd, 1973. Therefore, presently makes me 13 years old. Most of my heritage is German. My mom and my dad are both mostly German. Therefore, I am also German. My original forefather's last name was Weiss, and in the late 1800s, my great-great-grandfather, at a young age, ran away from his home and his family in Germany and came to the United States. When he got to this country, he changed his last name from Weiss to Weiss because he thought Weiss was easier to spell and pronounce. Well, he didn't accomplish much, but it's been that way ever since. My hobbies are model making, airplanes, cars, reading, music, and I also enjoy doing things outdoors, like fishing, hunting, and bicycling. For family, I have a sister besides my parents. She's older than I am. My favorite kind of books are science fiction and war stories. I like the same kind of movies also. My favorite movie is Aliens, and my favorite book is Robinson Crusoe. And so that concludes my report.
I would like you to travel back to the past with me to October 29th,
1973. The place, St. Gabriel's Hospital, Little Falls, Minnesota. The time, 2 minutes after midnight. The reason, a new life is born. They named this new life Kelly Ann Billig. For some unknown reason, my family soon became Ray and Bev Billig and their other daughter, Jennifer. I began to learn a little more about my family. I soon began to learn that I'm German, Polish, French, and Irish. The German and Polish came from my dad's side of the family, the Billigs. The French, Irish, and also German came from my mom's side of the family, the Raymonds. My great-great-great-grandfather was the first white man in Pierce among the Indians. There now is a park named after him in Pierce called the Herman Billig Park. I recently just learned that my great-uncle was the godfather of Tom Kelly. As you all know, Tom Kelly is the manager of the world champions Minnesota Twins. I now reside at 701 3rd Avenue Northeast, Sartell. I have lived there for the past 13 years. Thank you.
Quiet now.
Hi, my name is John Lloyd Vinci III. I was born on July 5th, 1974 in the town of Crosby, Arrington, Minnesota. At birth, I weighed 7 pounds, 9.5 ounces, and was 20 1/4 inches long. I've lived in Minnesota all my life and attended Sartell school since kindergarten. There are 6 people in my family, my 2 brothers, Jason and Jeff, my sister Katie, and my mom and dad, John and Kate. Out of all the children in my family, I'm the oldest at 13 years old. I enjoy playing football, basketball, and baseball, but my favorite overall is basketball. I also enjoy hunting and fishing. My ethnic background consists of mostly Norwegian and German, and there's a little bit of Irish, Swedish, English, and French mixed in there too. On my dad's side of the family, I'm related to a famous Norwegian naval commander named Tordenskjold, who drove back the Swedish and Danish naval fleets in a war. But the funny thing is, he was kicked out of both the Swedish and Danish fleets, and eventually was kicked out of the Norwegian fleet. But no matter, he was considered a hero in Norway for his heroic battles. When my ancestors came over to America from Norway, their last name was Larsen. But at the time, there were so many Larsens in America that they changed their name to a shortened version of a town in Norway called Vinjora. They dropped the last 3 letters in the word and got the last name Vinji. And if there are any questions, that concludes my speech.
My name is Angie Martins. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital on September 4th, 1973. I lived in St. Cloud for 4 years, then moved to Sartell. I have one brother whose name is Chris, and he's in 5th grade. I like shopping, gymnastics, and reading. My nationalities are German, Italian, and Irish. I get Italian and Irish from my mom's side. My grandpa is from Sicily, and he came to America when he was 4 or 5 years old. He spoke Italian, and he had to learn English when he started school. My grandma was born in America. My great-grandparents on my mom's side didn't speak any English at all. And my mom and her sister didn't speak English till they were 4 years old because my grandpa he always spoke Italian even though he knew English. On my dad's side, my grandma's American and German. Her mom is German, and she came to America when she was 5 or 6 years old, and she had to learn English. And her father was born in America. Her parents were both German. And if there are no questions, it concludes my speech.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kiley, and I am 13 years old. I was born May 29th, 1974 at 6:30 in a one-story Marshall Hospital. I moved from Marshall in 1979 and went to St. Francis until last year in 7th grade. I'm Catholic because my mom converted over to the was Lutheran, and she converted over to Catholic. I was born into a family of 0. That's a first child, and I now have 3 sisters. My background is German, Irish, and Czechoslovakian. My German great-great-grandmother came in the 1930s in an immigration boat. She lived 50 years in Germany and lived to be 100, but she insisted that she never wanted modern things. My grandpa, who is Irish, died when my dad was 7. My grandpa came from Czechoslovakia. His last name is Boris. He is of Russian Orthodox religion, which is kind of an uncommon one. I have only one uncle and aunt because my mom was an only child, and my dad has one brother. That concludes my speech.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Ann Young Gross, or Jenny. I was born in Gwangju, South Korea on June 9, 1974. I was baptized on May 11, 1975. My given name was Ha Young Ho. I came to the United States on February 28, 1975, to be with my adoptive parents, Dylan and Judy Groth. Being a baby, I do not remember Korea. Mom and Dad say that I became westernized or used to the American ways quickly. They also have books on Korea that I have read, and I plan to visit there someday. After 6 months of being with my adoptive parents, we had to go to the court to become legally theirs. And that's when my name was legally changed. I also 2 years later, we had to go to the St. Paul Supreme Court when I became American citizen. My mom, Judy, is a general office cashier clerk at the St. Cloud Hospital. My dad, Dale, works at Holes Webway as a mechanic, and he plays the bass guitar for Virgin the Eldorados and works as a carpenter. I have one sister also from Korea, but we are not blood sisters, and a brother who is not adopted. I enjoy playing golf, volleyball, the piano, and I like to go shopping. I like living here in the United States and have many friends and hope to find more. If no questions, this concludes my report.
Guten Nachmittag. My Name is Anita Erkins. I was born at the St. Cloud Hospital, and I live in St. Stephen. I've lived there all my life. Even though I'm full-blooded German, a little bit of what I just spoke, my first name is Spanish. I was going to be named Anne, but things changed and I was named Anita instead, which is Spanish for Anne. My ethnic background is not very large. All my ancestors came from Germany. On my dad's side, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather, Kosh, came from Persia, Germany, in September 1865, right after the Civil War. They settled in the Richmond area. On the Erkin side, my great-grandparents came from Germany and settled in Jordan, Minnesota. On my mom's side, my great-great-great-grandparents came from Germany and settled in Missouri, but the tornadoes are very fierce, and they wanted to find a new area to live in, so they packed up and moved to St. Joseph, Minnesota. They also moved because they wanted to stay away from fighting on the south side in the Civil War. I come from a family of 6, my parents, 2 brothers, and 1 sister. I also have a new addition, a sister-in-law. I'm the only child at home now. I have 1 brother and 1 sister in college at Morris, Minnesota, and 1 brother that's married and lives in Lake City, which is close to Red Wing. Some of my hobbies include roller skating, weaving, a few other things. I also enjoy volleyball, speech, softball, and once in a while playing my clarinet. What do you enjoy doing? Well, we'll be able to find out what Lois likes because she'll be giving her report next. Is there any questions? If not, thank you for your time, and let's go.
My full name is Lois Jerry Lodemeyer. I was born on Saturday,
October 6, 1973 at St. Cloud Hospital. My names of my parents are Marlene and Raymond. My mom's maiden name is Leggett. My nationalities are German and civilian. The nationality civilian comes from my mom's side of the family. I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters. The names are Tony, Dan, Marie, Paul, Janice, and Leon. And I'm the baby of the family. Tony, Dan, Paul, and Janice are all married, but Tony and Dan each have 2 children. I like to go swimming, reading. I like to read, play volleyball, and softball, and I also like to go bike riding. I live on a farm outside of the towns of Sartell, St. Stephen, and St. Joseph. My great-great-grandfather built the farm in 1855 and was passed down 5 generations to my dad, which makes the farm 132 years old today. And that concludes my speech.
Hi, my name is Chad Grushka. I was born on July 2nd, 1973 at 2 o'clock in the morning in the St. Cloud Hospital. My great-grandparents came from Poland and Germany. My ancestors from Poland used to be the Patuk family, but when they came to the United States, it was switched to Paddock. My grandpa was born on February 29th, and my mom was born on New Year's Day. My father helped retrieve 3 of the Apollo space capsules when they landed in the Atlantic Ocean. I've been to 23 states and moved 6 times. I took 3rd place in the Central Minnesota Chess Tournament and had my appendix removed in 6th grade. My hobbies include hunting, fishing, camping, reading, comic book collecting, and model building. I enjoy playing tennis and racquetball and like skiing and biking. I just recently finished cross country and took 5th at conference. I plan on being in swimming and baseball this year. This concludes my presentation.
Hey, before I start my speech, I want to say, all right, twins. Okay? Now, I'm David Patrick Buell, okay? My first name, David, means beloved, and I was named after my dad, my second name, which means strength. And Buell is German, but I don't know what that means. Okay. I was born July 17th, 1973 at St. Cloud Hospital. And that was kind of an adventure starting right there, because I really gave my mom a run for her money, because I used to get in a lot of trouble. Like, when I was around 4 years old, I used to get real upset with her. Like, I'd try running away from home. And like, you take all your clothes, throw them in the suitcase, run to the driveway, start crying, and come back. Lots of times. Okay, and then I used to be a little bit of a daredevil when I was sort of younger. Like, I used to take my walker down the stairs, like 12 stairs, going tumbling down, rug burns. Yeah, that happened. And I used to have the funniest taste in non-foods. Like, I used to clean up after the ducks, if you know what I mean. Yep, that was me. Well, look down here. Okay, I enjoy sports mostly, like football, basketball, and yeah, hunting. Just last year was my first hunting trip, and that was a winner. I was walking across this icy log. The pond wasn't totally frozen over yet. My gun, don't want to point it at anything. And I tripped, fell. I landed my legs in between the log. Kind of had a hurt coming, and then slid into the water. I can remember that one real good. My voice is still an octave higher. Okay, my dad was adopted, so we're really not sure where he came from. It could be anywhere. And my mom, I get German. Okay, I'm a little bit of French, Irish, and just a tad Poland. And one way you can tell from what area of Germany I was I was north because of my blonde hair and my blue eyes. Northern people have a tendency to have that color of complexion. My dad was in Vietnam. He was control of heavy artillery. Quite an experience. Now he's an accountant for a company. I don't know what it's called though. My mom's a nurse at the hospital. Well, she's kind of like a fake nurse because she's an she used to be a nurse, but now she's an RN, quality insurance, whatever that means. And they come from Browerville, kind of an unknown place. Okay, well, that's pretty much my speech, and time's running out, so thanks a lot.
Hello, my name is Mark Schaefer. I was born in the St. Cloud Hospital in room 415. I weighed 7 pounds 4 ounces, and my heritage is German, Serbian, Norwegian. Shut up, Phil. My mom is Norwegian and German. My dad is German and Serbian. I'm German, Serbian, and Norwegian. My brother is the same. My mom is Norwegian and German. I have plans to go to Harvard Law School, become a lawyer, make $1 trillion a year, and be the richest man in the world. Or be a professional football player for the New York Giants. My grandpa was a professional hockey player. He played for the Chicago Red Sox.
Go ahead.
Thank you. He was a right fielder. My brother is going to the University of Minnesota Duluth. He wants to be a lawyer or he wants to be a professional baseball player. Oh, for the Twins. Which, by the way, we won the World Series and just won $20 from my dad. Thank you very much.
Are we supposed to laugh?
Hello, my name is Mike Carlson, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born August 11, 1973. I'm 5 foot 3 inches and weigh 117 pounds. I like most sports like football, baseball, wrestling, hunting, and fishing. Out of all of them, hunting is the best. The first time deer hunting, I shot a 9-point buck, and that's why I like hunting so much. I've always liked girls, and I have one sister. My family has a bass boat, and I catch all the fish. My biggest bass was a 5-pounder. My favorite pop is Mountain Dew. My favorite food is tacos, and that's all I can tell you about me, myself, and I. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Tanya Joy Thielen. I arrived in this world on October 11, 1973, to St. Cloud Hospital, to Mr. and Mrs. John and Jean Thielen. I weighed 7 pounds 15 ounces. I had dark hair and dark eyes, and I was 21 inches long. I was the youngest child. I have 3 other sisters, Jody, Fritz, Cindy Thielen, and Sherry Thielen. They have all graduated from Sartell High School, and the last was in 1980. At 10 months, I began to walk and became a living terror. I hated going to the doctor and screamed and kicked whenever I had to. I still do. Some of my hobbies are reading, watching TV, and shopping. This summer I went to Chicago. It was great. The people, the noise, and the buildings, a lot different from St. Cloud. My great-grandparents, Matt and Wilhelmina Thielen, were both from Germany and came to live in Freeport, Minnesota to farm the rest of their lives. My great-great-great-grandparents were Truman and Marcia Terry. They came to Watts Flat. Both Marcia and Truman endured many hardships of pioneer life. Truman fought in the Civil War. My great-grandparents were Peter and Mary Hedlund. They were both born in Sweden and they moved to Foley, Minnesota. They had 10 children and farmed their whole lives. Richard Hedlund, one of Peter and Mary's children, was killed in the Batten Death March. Robert Hedlund, also one of Peter and Mary's children, got in a foxhole in World War II. He was crippled in his leg and received a Purple Heart for this. Then, if there aren't any questions, I'm finished.
My name is Shelley Ann Medeiros. My initials spell Sam, S-A-M. I was born in the St. Cloud Hospital on May 20th, 1974. The first place I've ever lived was in St. Cloud in the basement of a brick house. Then I moved to St. Joe, where I lived in a trailer house. I lived there for 1 to 2 years. Then we moved to St. Stephen, where I recently live now. I've lived there for 8 years. I attended school there from kindergarten through 4th grade. The next school I went to was Sartell Elementary. I went there for 1 year. Then I went to Sartell Middle School for 2 years. Then I'm recently now attending Sartell High School. I will go here from 8th to 12th grade. In my family, I have 2 half-sisters, 1 brother. My two half-sisters are both older than I. Their names are Shannon and Jody. My brother is younger than I am. His name's Dennis. When I grow up, I have planned to become a cook. I have no pets besides my brother. My mom's name is Roseanne Majerus. My dad's name is John. My brother's name is Dennis, but we call him Butch. In my spare time, I like to swim, eat, and ride bike. In my ancestry is Norwegian, Dutch, and Swedish. These are the facts of my life. Thank you for listening.
Andrew.
Hi, my name is Wendy Ertl. I was born December 17, 1973 in St. Cloud Hospital. I'm from a family of 14. My hobbies are reading, shopping, and for a job I deliver papers. My nationality is Polish and German. My great-grandfather was born in Berlin, Germany. Came to America when he was 20, lived in Pennsylvania. Then he moved to Watkins, Minnesota. He got married and had 17 children. My great-grandfather died 73 years old. My grandfather moved to a farm west of St. Stephen. Then he got married and had 6 kids. One of the 6 was my dad, Louis. Thank you for listening.
My name is Pat. Yeah. My first name is Patrick. My middle name is Louis, and my last name is Serrano. My dad's Pasquale Serrano, which is a very weird Italian name. Whatever. My mom's name is Rose, and she presently works down in Coburn's, and my dad is the welfare director for Stearns County. I also have a brother, Joe, who is in the middle school, and he is presently now in 7th grade. Right. My ethnic heritage is 75% Swiss, 25% Swiss, 25% German, and one more try. Yeah, 50% Italian, and proud of it. No, we do not eat pizza and pasta all the time. No, we eat many other things, I think. However, I like Chinese food. What? Over here, like, most of my Italian heritage comes from around here, Reggio Calabria. Why it's called that, I have no idea. After that. Also, I'm a big part of the St. Paul Koreas there, which have this directory about everybody, and it's chock full of stuff. Now, my interests are weird phenomena like ESP and stuff like that. I don't know why I like that. I'm weird. I used to collect He-Man people, and got 11 of them. I had collected Transformers, got a few of those, and I collect comic books. I got about 30 of those, you know. And my future plans are to go to St. Cloud State, get 2 masters, and become a doctor in psychiatry, which I don't know why either. And I hope to become a great doctor in psychiatry, get a lot of money, and get a few Porsches, get a house in Santa Barbara, have a cute wife, 2 or 3 kids. That's about it, I guess.
Hi, my name is Christine Tillman. My full name is Christine Marie Tillman. My parents are Robert and Mary. I enjoy biking, swimming, volleyball, and softball. I was born on July 6, 1974 at St. Cloud Hospital. I lived in St. Cloud for 6 years, and then we moved to Sartell and lived in heavy trailer court for 5 years until we moved 2 years ago into house on Riverside Avenue. So I am part Norwegian, German, and Spanish. I have 13 pets, which are 7 cats, 4 dogs, and 2 rabbits. I have no brothers or sisters. My aunt and uncle, Fidel and Ron Poli, lived in Tripoli, Libya before Gaddafi took over. And my uncle Ron was one of the first people who discovered oil in the Libya area. I heritage usually comes from in this part of Norway and down here in Sweden.
and in the Madrid area of Spain. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
You're on. Hi, my name is Brad Justin and I'm 13 years old. And I'm here to tell you a little about myself. I live in Sartell on Brookwood Lane in a greenhouse. The first thing I do when I wake up is my paper route. Then I go back home and eat my Lucky Charms and go to school. Well, that's my basic day. Some of my favorite TV shows are Family Ties, Saturday Night Live, and Growing Pains. My favorite class is math because it's kind of easy. I have 2 sisters, 1 brother. They are Trina, Sarah, and my brother Aaron. We all have red hair. My dad, Mark, is 35, and my mom, Karen, is 36. And I have 4 guinea pigs, and I'll draw a picture of one. Nice. Shh. And that's what they look like. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Scott Evans. Hello, my name is Scott Evansteiner, and today I am here to tell you a little about myself. I was born at Melrose Hospital at 8:07 a.m. in the morning of June 21st, 1974. I weighed about 7 pounds, 12 and a half ounces, and was 19 and a half inches long. I have a German descent, and my first relative over was Ignaz Evansteiner. There are 2 ways to spell it, and I'll show you one. Or you can spell it just EV. Yeah. Okay, Ignaz got a land grant from the U.S. government, and it was signed by Ulysses Grant, and built the farm in 1807. I like football, wrestling, and one way I like to get away from things is to kill sparrows. I like to put them in water and hang them on electric fences. Oh well, I'm only human. Thank you, everyone.
My name's Corey Donay. I was born August 13, 1974. I'm 13-year-old. When I was born, I weighed 9.4 pounds. I was born in the St. Cloud Hospital, St. Cloud, Minnesota. There are 4 people in my family: my mom, my dad, and my sister Rhonda, and me. I have 2 rabbits, a male, Flopsy, and a female, Pal. My last name is pronounced Donay. It's French. The T is silent. My heritage is German, French, and Polish. I enjoy doing a number of things, but my favorite are running, biking, and playing basketball. During the summer, I like long bike rides, going camping, and being with friends. During the summer, I also like water skiing. When I grow up, I want to be an airline pilot and live in Florida. Hope you enjoyed my speech. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Chris Bolte. I would like to tell you a little bit about what I like to do and what my hobbies are and what happened to me. My hobby is collecting sports cards. I have over 16,000. Most of them are baseball, but I have a few football, basketball, and hockey. And some of my things I like to do, I like to play football, baseball, wrestle, and go bowling, swimming, and ride bike. And some dangerous things that happened to me when I was 4. I was in a snowmobile accident, and my dad was driving it, and I was tied on to the back. I was on a sled. I was tied onto the back, and he came down a hill, and it stopped, and the back of the snowmobile hit me. I ran into it right there. 17 stitches, and that was when I was 4. And when I was 9 years old, I was climbing a tree, and I slipped. I didn't reach the branch, and I got caught right here. A thing about this far stuck in me, and then I pulled myself up and dropped to the ground, and this big scar this long right here. And then I ran in the house and stopped the bleeding, and then after that, I never climbed that tree again. Any questions?
Hi, my name is Sarah Knight, and my ancestors had some pretty weird names. For example, some of them are Ingeborg Larson, Tanna Ball, Carrie Parr, Corrine Stearns, Sophia Skog, John Nelson, and Lars Samuelson. You can tell by those names that my ancestry is Norwegian, Dutch, Swedish, and German. In the time I'm not in school, I like to watch TV, ride my bike, listen to music, talk on the phone, and practice my flute and many other things. I also like to watch movies. One of my favorite of them is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital on October 17, 1973. I've lived in Sartell all my life, and I've lived in the same house for 14 years. I went to Sartell Elementary School from kindergarten through 5th grade, and Sartell Middle School from 6th grade through 7th grade, and I'm currently attending Sartell High School. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erin Rose Sattergaski, and I was born February 21st, 1974 in the St. Cloud Hospital. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 6 or 7 years old, so I was maybe in 1st or 2nd grade. I have 2 sisters. Their names are Jeannie Sattergaski and Dawn Sattergaski. They're in high school. Dawn's in 10th grade and Jeannie's in 11th grade. My mom got remarried about 2 years ago. I'm mostly German and a little Polish. On my mom's side there are 12 children. On my dad's side there are 3 children. My mom's name is Judy Oman. My real dad's name is Robert Sattergaski. My stepdad's name is Tony Oman. I lived in Rice, Minnesota for nearly 10 years. I came to school at Sartell for nearly 3 to 4 years now. I see my real dad maybe 3 to 4 times a year. I have never had chickenpox or any other diseases like measles and stuff. And when I was in 6th grade, in the summer, I went trekking with my stepdad, and I got to bring a friend. We went to Chicago, Wisconsin, Iowa, and South Dakota and North Dakota. That was my first time I have ever been out of Minnesota, so that was pretty exciting for me. When I still lived in Rice, I almost got killed by a drunk driver who was chasing me. They came about 1/2 inch away from hitting me. I have never been so scared in my life, so now I don't walk alone that much. I have never been water skiing, but someday I'd like to try it. It sounds like fun. My favorite sports are volleyball, soccer, swimming, basketball, and track. I really hoped you liked my story about me and my family and stuff. But it sure was a rough life, don't you think so? Does anyone have any questions?
How old were you when you got chased by that drunk driver?
I can't remember. I bet you it was around 3rd grade.
Jeff.
How do you know he was drunk? Because I almost hit a telephone pole.
How far did he chase you?
W-I-E-H-O-S-S.
I knew that.
Hi, my name is Troy Wehoff. I am 13 years old. I was born in St. Cloud Hospital on March 30th of 1974 at 9:45 a.m. in the morning. I weighed 8.9 pounds. Some of my favorite hobbies are baseball, basketball, bowling, and football. I like to go hunting and listen to Elvis. I collect cups and baseball cards. Some of my favorite TV shows are Airwolf and Family Ties. I like to fly and go on trips. I have been to 38 states. Florida and Canada were the most interesting places I've been to. I want to be a fighter pilot when I become older because I want to fly the F-14 Eagle in the Navy. Then, I want to become a commercial airline pilot. I am German, French, and Irish. I am from a family of 4, my mom, my dad, and my sister. And I have 2 grandparents. Well, I hope I have informed you a little bit about my life, and thank you for your time and attention.
Hi, my name is Christine Kvitzberg. I'm 12 years old, and I was born on Sunday, November 10, 1974 at 8:25 a.m. My dad is of Swedish extraction, and my last name means mountain branch of the king, and my dad's ancestors were supposedly descended from Swedish Baron. My dad's grandparents on his mother's side came over from Sweden in 1875 and settled in Denham, Minnesota. His father came over in 1926 from Sweden. My mother is of German and French extraction. My mom's grandparents on her mother's side came over from Normandy, France, and they don't know when.
Her father's ancestors came over in 1727 from a region in Germany called the Palatinate, which joined Germany and Holland and became part of the Pennsylvania Dutch. I think the Palatinate is right over here somewhere. I don't know where it is, except it's along that region. My dad is an only child, except his mother had 6 brothers and sisters, and the only one still living is the third oldest born, and her name is Frida, and she's 95 years old, and her husband John turned 98 on October 16th. My mom Shirley is, My mom Shirley is a housewife who is the youngest of 2 children, and her brother, whose name is Gary, has 4 children who are girls, and he lives in Minneapolis. I have 2 brothers, and my oldest brother, Carl, is 28, and he has a PhD in microbiology, and he's doing research at Baylor Medical College in Texas. My other brother, Kurt, is 21, and he's studying to be an electrical and electronic engineer in Tempe, Arizona, at Arizona State University. We have 2 dogs. The older one, Sandy, is a 8-year-old, and she's a golden retriever. And the younger one, Gunther, is a Great Dane, and he's 3 years old. We also have a cat who's a domestic short hair, and she's 6 years old.
Shut the lights on.
Turn all the lights on.
This isn't right. Pictures are
Focus it.
Hold up the machine backwards so you can see it better.
Focus.
Hold backwards. Focus.
Whoa. Looking good, Christine.
Hold on. There.
Well, I know you probably can't see this, so I'll pass them around afterward. This one, oh, my head's been off. This is the one where I was born. This one, I'm 2 years old. This one, I'm 3 years old. This one, I'm 4. And that one, I'm 4 and a half. And that's my first grade picture. This is my favorite stuffed animal. His name is Pup Dog. The reason he's so special to me is because I got him when I was 3 years old for my brother Kurt. I hope you've enjoyed my speech and learned something you didn't know about me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Phil Kirshner, and I was born in St. Cloud, 7'4", I was 7.5 ounces and had blonde hair and brown eyes. I'm 13 years old, and my ancestors hail from Vietnam, China, and Germany. My ancestors from China fought with the Great Wall of China and defeated many hostile people. My hobbies are baseball, football, hockey, bowling, and many more. Most of all, it's baseball. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And I also have a little cocker.